as we should be. Those who are just logging in now, please let me know that you can hear me. Please let me know that my voice is audible. We've got very important news to deal with today. Today, we're speaking about my other team. My newly found other team, who just so happened to just kill a game. So let's see. Let's speak about a little bit about what this team has done. Obviously, there was a press conference, but I can't start with it just yet. I have to start off. Well, we don't have video for it. There's only audio. So let's hear what Utajere had to say. But before I jump all the way through that, let me start the show. Welcome, everybody, to the Overthinking Football Show. My name is George Mukwena. I am your host. This show airs every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon. And then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. You will find us here. We'll also do watch-alongs of the big matches. Bafana over the weekend. We did Banyana Bastaila. We also do the big three, Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns. So feel free to join on any of those days. If you want to hear back any of the shows that I've hosted here before, we've had some incredible conversations with some really good panelists. They are available in full on Facebook and on YouTube. If you've heard the show before, watched the show before, and you're wondering, how do I add my voice here? Just know that you have to be following me on TikTok and join me when I'm live on TikTok. Then there'll come a time when I'll tell you to press the multi-guest button at the bottom of your screen, and you'll be able to request, jump in, and we can have the conversations about whatever we're speaking about on that day. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to start us off with U Pracheri Mterere Terry Shabalala, coach of Banyana Banyana. Let's hear what he had to say. Please remember, guys, it is audio only, so just bear with me a little bit, and we'll just listen to what Ucheri had to say, coach of Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, look, honestly speaking, I wasn't expecting my girls to keep the same intensity that we started the game with. When you look the first 20 minutes, I said we needed to suffocate them with a high intensity. Reason being that we know that they've played extra time. They went to penalties, and chances are that they'll be tired, you know. So I think that it really worked for us. But in terms of the girls bringing more energy from the tank, I think it goes back to the training sessions that we've been having. Our training sessions have been so very, very light. They were not that demanding, so that the girls could recuperate as, how can I put it, as early as possible.
Donc je pense que cela a dû au fait des entraînements qui étaient des entraînements très légers, parce qu'on je vais retrouver des enfants jouer de façon soft. Mais comme moi aussi je suis très impressionné par leur prestation, leur performance aujourd'hui, parce qu'elles ont eu, je ne sais pas d'où vraiment cette énergie est venue, elles ont vraiment explosé sur le terrain par rapport à ce qu'ils ont fait. Une bonne prestation ce soir.
Question? Oui.
Congratulations, coach. You did the launch in Nigeria. On the line down, is there
I think it's not the color of the jerseys, but when this team was formed, I think the previous people who formed this team, they really liked the style of Brazil and the way the Brazilians play. So I think that's where it goes, you know, and it also motivates us to play like the Brazilian, the style of play.
Okay, I'm going to stop it there for time's sake. Let's start our conversation since I was a little bit late. So I'm going to just start us off before opening the panel. Look, Banyana Bastyle have won 2 of the 3 Champions Leagues that are available. There's only 3 available. We won the first one. The second one, they lost in the final to AS FAR Rabat. And then in the third one, we go and win 3-0 versus Sporting Casablanca, which is a very good sign for women's football in all, because if you remember correctly, Banyana also won the WAFCON last year and did very well in the World Cup this year. So even though Hollywood Bets League is a semi-professional league that is not perfect, that has a lot of bumps and bruises around it, these teams are showing that they can be juggernauts. You know, I've told you guys how many times that Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, some of the ladies in the Hollywood Best League play better than PSL teams. You know, they play better than PSL teams. And for those who watched that final, they progress the ball so well. They play out the press so well. They do so many things so well, including composure up in front. And that just shows you the quality of this team. Even at the end, winning the Fair Play Award, Fair Play Team Award, they won the top goal scorer, Utholagele, my fave, shoot from anywhere. Andile Dlamini got the Golden Glove for not conceding the entire tournament long. And then at the end, Urabale got given the player of the tournament, jersey number 10. She's been incredible for that team. In terms of the game itself, as Upracheri spoke about there, he didn't expect them to go down. Maybe it is because they played so many fixtures over the past few weeks in this tournament that they couldn't necessarily train, and maybe there was a bit of fatigue there. But the ladies came out first 20 minutes. Casablanca saw nothing. They couldn't play the ball out. They couldn't get out of their own half. The high press from Mamelodi Sundowns was winning the ball in the final third. I just unlucky that they couldn't make some better decisions in that final bit. But it seemed as though because they decided to sit back and be a little bit more complacent after going 2-0 up, they allowed Casablanca back in. BAFANA, of course, got that yellow card. And you know, man, she's a risk for a red card. So Coach Cherry was like, you know what? Let me pull her off and put Mukwena into the midfield. And you started to see that steel, that physicality that BAFANA brings to his Sundowns was missing. And the striker, the strikeout Diarra and the other number 9, they were really finding their way in. The only problem with Mamelodi Sundowns that I saw from there, from a stellar performance, was that if Casablanca could play more like a team, they could create situations where they could go one-on-one versus the players. 3 of the chances that were created came from a breakaway. They broke the press. Ball falls into number 9's lap. She beats her player, and then that created a one-on-one earlier in the match where Wandile had to come out and smother the ball. And then later on in the match, Diarra Ushapile Spaitu then got in. Luckily, Andile was up again for the task. But all in all, I don't want to say too much. Well done to Mamelodi Sundowns' ladies team, Banyana Bastaila, on the second CAF Champions League win. And lastly, that number 3 goal. Oh, that number 3 goal, guys. That number 3 goal, ball play to Uravale and Uramalepe. She hit a penguin trap with both her feet, pushed the ball down. One of the best balls I've ever seen into the box, into oncoming. The striker is there enough, is smart enough to turn around and lay it off Utholagele. Oshapang Vesi puts it into the bottom corner. That was an incredible goal. Better than most of the goals you'll see for PSL. Let's be honest. Anyway, guys, let me open the show for the panel. Please remember that you have to be following me here on TikTok and then come in. Colin, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. Oh, these ladies don't play, man. These ladies don't play. Let me open up and let the first panel in, and we can have a conversation about this here game. Oh, guys, I keep telling you guys, let's watch women's football. Let's watch women's football. For all the people that have been saying, oh, no, they're slow. Hey, it's not 2005, guys. It's not 2005. These are very, very good players. Kumo, let's talk about our team. Let's talk about our team.
Ira 7 before our team. Once a 7. We got to go through.
I see. No, I'm good. Cool. When did you came in?
Yo, I can't know. It's a little known.
Yeah.
Like I was craving such good football. Well, Tlhalohanya, I was agree, guys. Arnhem started to buy as a side. There was some brilliant tactically. It had everything, bruh. Joe, the way they were tripping, the ball was on me. The one that style or Banyana style. But it deserve that nickname, man. You know, could I put this for am I watching normal football or get PlayStation? Yeah, dal. I get sure the press hits up. PlayStation Agabo. So there was it was nice. I've never been so much entertained. And it's like never like I get another group we were talking about how we need to have the South African flair, you know, possess.
Yeah.
They were listening to our prayers, part wanted that very same day, man. Yo, Corey, I've always known Sundowns has always been dominant, okay, I mean the female side. Even men's side nowadays, but the female side. Corey, it made me to a fan. Go right now. I'm gonna start following Hollywood bets. Guys, I don't know what more we can ask for, but that game it had everything for me. I've never been so entertained in my in recent times, especially
And I
like
think-
I'm smiling even now.
And I think the best thing is that, you know, you watch Mamelodi Sundowns' first team. Obviously, we know that the men's team, we know what they do. But the fact that there's no drop-off in quality and the fact that you're seeing the same things that the men are doing in terms of, you know, the culture of the club. Speak a little bit about that, man. It seems as though from the top to the bottom, from development to the first men's team to the ladies team, they play a similar brand of football. They're as dominant. How does Sundowns do this?
Well, one I have a philosophy, identity, culture. If you go on the dictionary, you're gonna see Sundowns ladies, Sundowns men, Sundowns youth development. Kore across the board, they know what they stand for, what they wanna achieve. The winning mentality is there. Professionalism is there. There is a trait. Sundowns has to be one of the best football teams globally. I don't care who says otherwise. Even your big players like your Liverpools don't do what Sundowns do. Sundowns dominate on both fronts. Madrid can do that as well. PSG, I review. Even City, I review. Even they try, but they don't. Sundowns, the mom, the dad, and the kids buy everything, getting overachievers, man. So I don't know. I don't know. And the thing is, like, our success, is gonna bring in a lot of enemies. They're gonna start having bargaining. I get it like because so many stars. You know how it was that. So yeah, man. You know your
No.
people.
Okay, I'm gonna come back. Let me let Ronnie in. Ronnie, see, Tolanini Pirates ladies, Ron.
We are associated with what do you call it? UJ.
How are you, Romaronza?
Good on you, man. We got a joint venture with UJ, so
Joint venture. Ay, man, togelang, Ronnie. Ronnie, tell me, what did you think of this game?
No, man. I think the good part of it is that they won, right? They won. And defending it is another thing, you know. It's the first thing to defend. You know, even men they're failing to do that. So that is the good side of it. And
Bashapilo finaling last year. They won the first one. They won the first one, yeah.
They won the first one. But that are they not defending it?
They lost in the final. They lost in the final last year.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, but the good thing is that you know what? When it comes to high pressing, I think they're too good, man. They're so good, to be honest. You know, there was time when I was watching, right? Even though I was watching through the phone, but I could see everything. Whereby when the keeper plays, trying to play from the back, they let him play from the back, and then they press them when after the keeper has played. That is so good. You know,
Yeah.
You need to be disciplined for you to do that. You know, so I think they were too good actually when it comes to that. And that Casablanca team, they couldn't play from the back. You know, I think Sundowns they are good in that. You know, I think the other thing that you need to know, guys, they train in the same is that the train behind the those field is the main Sundowns were trainer called the main side, so the train on the other side. So maybe sometimes they speak to Rulan and all that about these things because they're in the same yard. It's only that they are playing on the train on the other side. So that is the good side about it, you know. But I think that game had everything, man. I think the ladies played very well. We need to compliment them, you know. I'm a Paris supporter, but on this one, I'm with them, you know. And the other thing that I'm jealous of, you know, I feel Sundowns now they're becoming more popular in Africa. If you
Yeah.
can check,
Yeah.
yeah, they're becoming more popular. They're becoming, you know, it's like you cannot go to Ivory Coast speak of Sundowns and then they don't know. You cannot go to Egypt, you speak to Sundowns and then they don't know. That is the good part of it. You know, I think they're spreading their wings so very, very well, to be honest. Like I'm jealous of that, to be honest, as a Paris supporter. But let's give compliment to Sundowns, the whole team actually. From the
Okay.
management side going down, we need to compliment them. I think there's something that we have to learn as other teams, learn from whatever they're doing, which is good.
Yeah.
We need to
Yeah.
learn, to be honest. Some of the things you need to be jealous and learn about it. So I think Sundowns are very good. As much as we said, the quality is from the development side, from the under 9, under 11, under 13, under 15, 17, 19, M Tiger, which is ABC Motsepe, um, the Sundowns ladies. So that culture is throughout. If you can watch ABC Motsepe, which is M Tigers playing, you'll see the first team playing. Simple as that. So that is how they're doing. So I think it's so good, man. To be honest, let's
Okay.
compliment them.
No, no, Ronnie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me bring in Agent 007. How are you, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm good. It's raining here, so I thought my network is buffering or something.
Aye, man. let's
And
talk
you
about
know,
our team, man.
and you know,
Yeah.
Kuma, you can't trust Kuma with anything. Yeah? It's like,
Eish.
the show is about to end.
Tell me, what did you see from this game?
I think before I go to the game, I think this perhaps is a good time to reflect, and because I think sometimes we say these things, and doesn't quite get through. I remember we had a conversation about Banyana Banyana at some point, and it looks like these things don't get through because, for whatever reason, maybe because Banyana Banyana were dominated and stuff like that, so people don't quite see the quality that we talk about, and I think away from the football, guys, I think I shared this in the WhatsApp group. Like you always see, join the WhatsApp group, guys. That's where we talk a lot. I shared the story of Tolakele, Hajen, and as a guy who's always been in and around development of girls and stuff like that, it's very difficult. It's very difficult to develop a young girl, and to develop a professional football player who is female for very difficult things, I don't know if you guys know this. The women days, what they call the menses, they get in some kind of extreme pain, it's so painful, and if you've ever played football, sometimes when you bleed from the nose, there's something which they put there, and it's very uncomfortable, and the ladies play with that uncomfortability, with that pain, and yet they play, and you look at also the fact that, excuse me, unlike Ronaldo, who can say, I'm going to retire when I'm 40, ladies don't have that luxury because they have a time frame given by God that, hey, at some point, 35 is a stretch phase as a lady, unless if you don't have kids, but the society expects you to have kids, So sometimes you look at these things and say, but it's difficult for being a lady, and sometimes it's the stigma, because some tend to become lesbians and whatever, and there is stigma. So imagine playing with that stigma. How many gay football players who've played, and who are open about it, and if you think male development is difficult in terms of academies, imagine women's academies. Where are they? At least on top of my head, I can say this. What is this one? School of Excellence, SAFA. for males. Can you mention on top of your head?
Well, tax maybe.
Yeah, no, tax is
What
something
UT,
else.
the universities.
Yeah, and you look at it; those are colleges.
Yeah.
You see, and universities. So look at a proper. So it's difficult to develop these ladies, and for them to get to this level, guys, is incredible. The third goal, guys, football orgasm. Football orgasm at its best. I'm not a content creator. I had to share that video, and that video is like 10K views. Like that's how trendy it is. And guys, the juggling of the ball by Tolakele, the crossfield by that midfield. I'm forgetting the captain. That trap, that pass. That composure in the box to lay off the striker, and the striker says, "Show me your number," and he finishes cool. Guys, no man, jealous down, man.
No, I hear you, agent. Hey, what's going on?
Oh, yeah, and I wanted to say, imagine these ladies are winning 7 million, and what did Sundowns win the other day?
10 times. 10, 11 times.
So you can imagine, and imagine they're playing in an amateur league, and how long you have football in SA been professional. The two biggest teams don't have a women's team. Don't tell me about collabos. We should know to what extent are they collaborating.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to come back. Koketso, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, Mr. Otien, how are you?
I'm good. We say bile polo. And then say bile polo maubani man.
My guy, come on. like Kuma said, man. Kuma said, philosophy, structure, and what. You can see that is the Sundowns DNA. Shusha and Piano. Even with the ladies. My guy, like Mr. OT, even some other PSL teams, men's teams don't play like that.
A lot of them.
They don't. Joe. Like yesterday, like I was watching that game with my granny. At that goal, she even stood up and clapped hands. As if she understood what happened there. But God, that goal was wow. You, come on, you. Those ladies, man. And then someone said like something like they train at Kurkop. And yeah, he's right. They also train at the same time with the men's team. Those guys, those girls, I mean, the ladies team. The football those ladies play. And then one thing Dr. Mutsipe said when he bought Sundowns, he said, "I want to build a team that will conquer Africa." If you remember that correctly. And I can tell you now, the investment that he made into the team, like that institution as a whole, it's paying off, my God. It's paying off. It's paying off. Those ladies play beautiful football. They playing now football. So, like, I enjoyed that game.
These games. Tonight, you don't want to hear me. Kumo, let's talk about further into the game. Ramalipi. She plays centre back for Banyana. Often looks out of place. But there's something that happens there, man. Kenya, she's the Sundowns, man. And she's playing on the right-hand side. Who are the standout players in this team, man?
For that game or for this team in general?
In general, from what we saw, Pella, we watched the other game as well. The semi.
Obviously, some players get the goalkeeper, get Rama, get Tolakele, Ramalepe. All our number 10, I forgot her name.
Ramale.
So those, those obviously are the star players. But obviously, anyone honestly can really like put up their hand. They can always be stand out. Obviously, final is a different thing. It's much more exciting and stuff. And obviously, in the semi-finals, they were playing against ASFAR, a team that is more like their peers. So they weren't allowed to really be aggressive and do whatever they want on the field of play. I won't go as far. So man, this whole Sundowns team now for now I'm happy guy on. And even on the bench, there's so many quality as well. Kerawoto Himesh, superstars, Wawon, even that lady, she was the top goal scorer, got the first one. What number? I think number 12, ne? It was the top
Number
goal
12.
scorer more tournament thing. Yeah, I could be wrong. I get why it's already, she was the top goal scorer, got the first installment there, this thing, and she didn't score anything. Go Hollywood bets. I wanna go to anyone, go to every. There's always a star at this team, man.
But to be in the game again, we saw a bit of a change, and they looked a little bit vulnerable, especially when Kimang Murtaji, Lidiara, when they broke through. Is that a worry, or is it just, they've played so much football over the past few weeks, it's bound to man, your legs are gonna give in, yan.
It's not a worry. Obviously, we won the game now. Mara, during the game, I could see why you would be worried. Mara, I told you, Sundowns were very at the back. We aren't as pacey. And the strategy outside the Casablanca was to play those guys. Pacey and stuff. Maragiri coach made provisions for that. Whenever these players Batswara ball, we smothered them. Our pressing was there. Yes, there were one or two instances where they were able to achieve. Mara, they couldn't actually have a lot of shots on target, and the ones they did have, they didn't have any steam. So we were very well prepared to neutralize the threats.
Okay, let me go to Ronnie. Maranza, into the team. Who are your standout players from last night's match? But then also, when we drill down to the team, second half, man, they almost fell asleep there for a little bit. Casablanca could have caught them a couple of times.
Yeah, man, you know what? I need to say this, right? When this team was, let me put it this way. This team has quality. If you check, let's go to the league that they play in SA, right? They always win the games and all that. Remember, this team, I think they were the first ladies to be paid in a way when it comes to the leagues and all that.
Yeah.
The TUTs, the UJs, they not get paid, but they got
scholarships,
scholarships and all that. That is the difference now. If you check, understand me, and these guys when they're playing, right, they've, you know what, they don't even, I'm not saying they match the guys like Abu the men's team, but they are better paid more than even other teams in including the PSL, you know. I might be wrong about this, but I'm sure they're getting paid enough. The way the team is run and structured and all that. So they have quality. If you can check, go to Chess Galaxy now is the only team that is trying to build the, what do you call it, the structure according to Sundowns when it comes to ladies. Hence, if you can check, they are more balanced in a way of the quality also. They're getting there and all that. That's only Chess Galaxy that I know. But the rest, it is like me running a team, you know, like me running a team, getting 1-2 players, and then we build a team and all that. You understand me? And I'm not building a team to keep the players. I'm running a team to sell to Sundowns to give me some money and all that. That is what is happening in the ladies' soccer. I'm sure of that. And I'm because there's Sasol, and then there is what do you call it? After Sasol, there is there's what do you call it, Ghana? The local leagues and all that, and Sasol, and then we go to
Hollywood beds.
So Sundowns is the best. It has quality. So from the goalkeeper going down to the striker, I don't want to like sideline to say this and that and keep on pointing fingers, but I'm telling you, that is the best team when it comes to ladies in SA. Reason being, they're getting paid. They're getting paid. So pay them, and we'll see competition. Think about it, if we have 8 teams or 12 teams which are getting paid like Sundowns.
Yeah.
When it comes to World Cup, You want to tell me we won't match them? Let's be honest.
Mm,
Because they
mm,
will start to go outside and buy players from the same Casablanca that they were playing against. Go to Morocco, which they have good sides. Go to Egypt, which they have good sides and all that. Even Zambia, they have good sides. Nigeria, they have good sides. So if you start to pay more these ladies, right, we'll get quality through the side, and then the competition is high. Then we'll go to play against the international. Then we are
yeah.
good enough. That is
Okay.
the only problem that we are having. For us to win the World Cup, for example, right? We need that quality. We need to make it as a sport for ladies that they're earning enough, and then we create competition. That is the only way. But let me not. I don't want to say much, man. This
Okay.
quality. I don't want to sideline to say the goalkeeper Andy led this quality, chief. Let's be honest. Modern Royal AM. They can beat Royal AM, this lady. They can beat them because every team is beating them. Even Cape Town City, they can beat them. Because why? There's quality. Let's be
Okay.
honest.
Okay.
Is that we are shy to compare the ladies and the guys soccer. We can. These ladies can beat other teams, including in ABC Motsepe, but they can beat them because they are quality. The only thing is the strength that will push them around and all that. But if you check, if we go pound for pound with playing it from the back, doing this, doing that, they're good enough. Oh, somebody say
Okay.
Chiefs. I didn't say that.
Aye, man, don't rain on our parade. Let me bring a new agent. Aye, don't rain on our
Don't be
parade, man.
shy. Don't be shy, Ronnie.
Don't
Ronnie, say
rain on
it.
our parade,
It's on
guys.
your mind. Say it.
We're having a good Monday. We're having a very good Monday. We're not stressed about things. Agent, tell me, the standout players in this team, and then also that second half, man, they got a little bit tired. And Casablanca showed that maybe if they could play a little bit more team ball, they could possibly get through to that defense and make some problems.
Yeah, I think, let me start with the last one. I think we have to sometimes accept that playing so many games in such a short period of time is very difficult. Even for me for boys football. I think even Sundowns, you could see in the final, the latter stage, like the boys are tired now. So I don't blame them that much. There was a bit of fatigue in there, and then there was the South African mentality,
Yeah.
South African syndrome, where
Yeah.
you think 2-0 is a good score, team can come back. And truly in South Africa, teams rarely come back from 2-0, we don't see enough Ramatandas in SA football. So I think there was complacency in there, and there was a bit of fatigue in there, and you combine them, but I think, again, it was a matter of experience that even though they dropped the levels, they were still able to get the third goal, and a very good third goal, with all the factors, the fact that they're not on that top level, and there's fatigue, and they still could score such kind of goals. I think talks to mentality, and I think also when in terms of style of play, I don't think there is any team which, even Sundowns press, is kind of here and there. It's not as coordinated as the ladies one. I think it's more of seizing the moment kind of thingy. It's always what is this guy's name? Tebo was saying, guys, let's press. This is the moment. They set what do you call it? Pressing traps. This ladies team, they don't care about traps. You have the ball, they attack it.
Yeah.
They don't care, or hey, like, there's a weaker side, there's this one, they go for it. That's one thing I like about them, and the intensity to do that. And when they have the ball, they play. At the back, they're relaxed, they play. And I think we're seeing the best of Ramalep. I think I wasn't familiar with this game. You kept on saying, actually, this girl is quite a good player. It's like, hey, yeah, I'm not sure about being a good player. I think he's an okay player, at BAFANA, at Banyana, I mean, So I think the whole tournament, I was like, yeah, nah, yeah, and I think, again, it's a Sundowns thing, I think I heard someone saying Dennis Onyango has to go to some team, and you're like, no, a team needs experience, to guide the young ones, what do you call it? McCoy, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it.
Yeah, McCoy, the striker,
Yeah.
number
You can
17.
see he can't play all games, but you always need that experience in there, and Chapo is there, so just like the men's team, there's experienced players, there's seasonal professionals, and like we have Aboma Bema there, they have their own niches, hence is what I would call an institutional success, and the playing from the back, not by passing the midfield, going through the midfield, spreading it out wide, vertical passes. So yeah, man, good.
Okay. Koketso. There was a bit of this second half. There was a bit of shakiness where it looked like they were a bit tired. Biana coming off contributed to that. What do you think of that second half? They showed maybe a little bit more defensive vulnerability there, Komracho. And then also, who are these standout players for this club, man?
I'll answer the first question first, and then I'll add on what Agent said. Man. When you look at the game, these girls were pressing, man. And the other factor was that the weather. I think they said it was too hot. The weather conditions also. And then you might think it's easy, but if you look at the movement of the ball of those ladies, and even when they don't have the ball, like even if you are fit, but even the weather like plays its part, when it's hot and now you are pressing, now the movement of the ball, so that thing also creates like it adds to that thing of them showing like they are tired second half. And the other thing is that even like in some other games, we know like if a team wants to equalize, if a team wants to come back, somewhere somehow there's a little bit of like for the Sundowns ladies, there was a little bit of how can I say it? Maybe lack of concentration. But you can't say that was a lack of concentration. I would rather say the Casablanca ladies added maybe more pressure, because now they were desperate to equalize now. So now and adding to that Sundowns ladies movement, they were moving, and now they got tired. I think so. And that lady, you said who, Biana, is number 19. That lady looking for that maestro. That one.
Mara the red card. Hey, Upiana Ramorata, Mara. Hey, red card, Mara. Waiting to happen.
I think maybe he's the one who made Talia Smith to belong to Amatas.
Yeah.
Talia is on loan, right? And they're playing the very same position. My God, that lady, top class. Top class.
Okay.
That one, she's one of the standout performers together with that captain Nhlapo. There was this incident that happened to her. I think I'm showing her Tolo, and I was like, this one is a compassion, this one. But then she stood up and she continued to play. And also the goalkeeper. I don't know why she's not playing there. I don't know why she's playing. That goalkeeper, Jamin. That's nah. And obviously number 10, Rabale, the Botswana. Is she from Botswana or
yeah, Botswana.
And number 9. One is from Botswana, one is from Lesotho. Those girls always say,
Okay, no. Thank you. Koke, so thank you to the first panel. Let me bring in the second panel so that we can continue this conversation about this here club and the performance yesterday and the performance in the tournament. Remember, unbeaten, didn't consider goal. Hey, they did everything right. Clara, they did every single thing right. How are you? Welcome.
I'm good, thank you. But you even repeated the top.
Listen. I want to listen.
Yeah.
My team, this one.
Yeah, man, we can't stop being happy about their performance. But to answer your question, they stand out. All of them, they did well. Because now, I think Kiron who spoke last, I thought of the match that Buseja was playing, the other goalkeeper from Botswana. performile in that match. Yes, it wasn't a must win, but they won it, and she worked in those goal posts. Okay, labona. Nhlapo, yeah, I think agent said it in the live. That slight tackle was bad, and we spoke about it was delayed, so that's why Bamututsi on the face. And Lina was just like, okay, this is gonna be a forced sub because I don't see her coming back. But she came back, and she's quite key for the defense. I feel like she leads them, and whenever there's a communication breakdown, she's there to clean up. And then there's also Karabo Dlamini. As a defender, she was doing well, feeding Murifi on their side to create chances, doing well. But there's also a game where she took a free kick that I was like, it was so impressive that free kick that she took, and I didn't know her as a free kick specialist. But after that kick, I was like, yeah, Dlamini is onto something, Karabo Dlamini. And yeah, well, Ramalepe.
Two different players. Two different players.
Yeah,
Hey.
Ramalepe will never get over Ramalepe in Sundowns and Ramalepe in Banyana. That's just gonna be a conversation, Esafeli. But the creation of that third goal, the trap, the placing it was just perfection. Like timing, and the power I feel in the ball. It wasn't too fast, it wasn't too slow, it was just perfect. Okay, Laban. And yeah, I guess the team
And she
is
also
doing
looks
well.
she looks really good in attacking, because even in the previous game there was that ball she played, she crossed back to Rabale. Where it's like you can tell that her composure comes from when she's attacking. Center back, I can say, I don't wanna comment too much about the Banyana Ramalepe, but in attack, man, you let something loose when you let her run up that wing.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's more comfortable attacking. And I think even with defending, there was a match where she did quite a lot of slight tackles and she won a lot of one-on-ones. I'm not sure if it was the semi or the match before the semi. But I think another thing, when you take off the pressure from her being the last person before the keeper, I think she does well. Whereas Banyana, she's last. And I think that thing, she's not able to go as forward as often as she does go Sundowns. It dents her confidence and she gets psyched out of the game. But I think another thing that I saw about her in terms of defending, her defending anticipation is not the best. And then two, aerial balls, damn sharp. I don't know if it's a body size thing or if it's a timing of jumping thing, but yeah, she needs to work on her defensiveness. The same with Andile. I think this tournament, before this tournament, I could see the argument highly swart about the distribution. But then in this tournament, because I think it has always been something that everyone agreed on, where Andile handles set pieces far better than Swart. But it has always been the fact that Andile's balls or game starts from behind and it's quite slow and her distribution is not all the way there. But for this tournament, her distribution has been quite improved. And I could say if it's because they say coach does sends them training schedules and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's from those or if it's just work that she's been doing personally, but I'm happy that she's improved on that part so that she sort of is back in the first 11. We need her. But yeah, I think Biane and her power. But I think yesterday, what you said about her timing yesterday, it made a lot of sense because it's always been that thing. Biana will come in for the challenge. She will not withdraw.
Yeah.
But it's always the thing. It becomes a bad tackle.
Just a second too late. Like I can say, man.
Yeah, so that thing, how only during the life, she's always a second late. Maybe Haka corrected that. We'll see the yellow cards going down. But otherwise, I enjoy Biana. I saw Mokwena came in and the middle field was not the same. But I think Liana contribution yeah high so no, well done to the team. They really performed well.
Okay, okay. Mto, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
I'm very well, and how are you, Mr. OT and the panel?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Tell me about the game yesterday. What did you see?
You know what? I saw a bunch of winners, to borrow words from Mbalula. You know, as a country, I feel like if we need to be making noise for a football club, it's Mamelodi Sundowns ladies, because honestly, I mean, did you see the dead goal? How
Listen, how can you
pieced
not
it
see the
together.
dead goal? That goal was incredible.
How they pieced everything together from Isuga Emuva up until it ended up as a goal. Even I forgot who scored, but the way Abulelenga
Tholakele, hey, don't forget, Tholakele, top goal
yes,
scorer of the
exactly.
tournament.
Exactly. So, my man, that whole team was just impressive. So, and I feel like it's gonna be overshadowed by even the male team, because if the male team goes on and wins the Champions League, we'll forget about this one. Because now, if we are honest, is there? I don't recall in South African football a club that has reached 3 Champions League finals in a row. So for me, these ladies just deserve something more superior. I was even not happy with they still will get the 80%. I wanted them to get the entire 100%. That's how impressed I am with what they've done. Yeah, and to go the whole tournament without conceding a single goal. Come on, it's unheard of. So they did everything well. Yes, even when they were a little bit under pressure, nyana, but you could still tell that they've got quality in the squad. So it was never like panic. You see, we were complaining just earlier about BAFANA second half they crumble and all of that. We didn't really see the crumbling of this team. So yes, there are obvious areas of concern where they need to improve. Maybe and I heard if FIFA wants to introduce the Club World Cup for the ladies as well. So I'm hoping it's gonna be soon, because they deserve to play at the international stage, and some of these players deserve to play for some big teams. That's how impressed I was with the entire display. So for me, beyond giving them the plot, it's never been done. They basically right now they're creating a legacy. They're gonna be the Al Ahly of ladies.
Yeah.
Where they're gonna run away with this whole Champions League thing.
Yeah.
I don't see any other team catching up, because even the final that they lost, if you remember well, there was a red card there. So if it wasn't for that, they probably would have won that final.
Yeah.
So that's how impressive this whole squad is, and I hope this team can stay together for a few more seasons, so that the legacy is just confirmed, man. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's how impressed I am with this squad.
GT says, guys, are you not talking about Numurifi? Numurifi, man. Let me go to Usupa Westfuba. How are you, my brother? Welcome back again.
Thank you for having me again. Are you good?
Hi. I'm talking about my other team. The ladies, my other team, Mamelodi Sundowns ladies. Tell me, how did you see this game?
Clinical, professional, expected, as they were playing a very young side. Let's not forget that. But otherwise, it doesn't take away from the achievement. It doesn't take away from the example set for the men's game as well. There's elements to it. I don't think the playing field is even. It's level. But then again, you've got so many super rich club owners across the continent who could have built a super ladies club way before Motsepe took over Sundowns. So kudos to him for that. But then I don't see these clubs, excluding the North African clubs and maybe Mazembe, I don't see these clubs having sufficient resources to support women's football on the continent to really make it as competitive as we'd want it to be.
Yeah.
I think maybe it will still need, and not out of disrespect or anything, but it's to allow the other smaller countries to catch up a bit in terms of training structure and all of those things. I think it will still need
Even
another.
our own country. Even our own country.
Yes, definitely. Because now we're going to have a one-trick pony. It's going to be Sundowns ladies. And then it's going to get tiring and boring, and then no one is going to pay attention to it anymore, which is what we don't want. We don't want that. We want them to have competitors on the continent and in the country.
Yeah.
But again, it doesn't take away from the achievement. Beautiful to watch, exemplary. Yeah, a lot for the youth and the men's teams to think about, like the real discipline. And
Okay.
yeah, the reason for the second half for fading, yes, long tournament, humid conditions,
High press all the time.
press,
Can
jet
work on the
lag,
legs.
mental exhaustion. Because yeah, what you see on the field is through lots of dedication. That 90 minutes doesn't really show what goes into recreating that. So well done to the ladies.
Okay, okay. Let me let Tolani in. Tolani, let's talk about our team, man. Let's talk about our team. Lo 7, awufuni, man. Kunelingimzama lo 7, akafuni, but it's fine. Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you?
Well, my guy.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Tell me, what did you see from this game?
It was a very nice game. But firstly, Gara usister tell her friends to tell their friends about overthinking football. We really gonna need ama women good content yakho, Mr. Uti. And to also support women's football because ama netball matches, there is more women than ama males lapha. So if they don't go to ama games out, not we can only like contribute kancane. But if bona bese kumele into yabo, I think they would also bring attention to abantu abakhulu abaphethe ibhola. Yeah. So going to the game, the only thing that ihlukile izolo or about ama-schemes ukuthi the females, but
Yeah.
omunye umuntu obengaqhamuka athi which team is playing, would swear ukuthi it was a men's football izolo ngendlela ama-girls ahlangene ngayo fethu. So it was a very impressive game of football, and ngithande our right back. I see some resemblance Amodiba laphana going forward. Yeah, so she's very skillful. I don't think he's a true right back. I think kumele bamtholele position like to invert like Modiba. But overall,
Okay.
was very impressed. Please. It shows ukuthi Lente Sundowns, like it's not an overnight thing. They've been working on these girls. Hopefully, I saw and I saw we should it shifts in there. If it shifts, then the Pirates in Japan could like take a women's football so serious. I think in the even Hollywood Bets League, in like more sponsors for Singapore, because they'll be more recognized because we can Tina as you know Tina as a Masontos fans, we only 75. Yeah, but imagine.
Oh, 75.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just say we 78 now. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. So the number is we 78 now. So yeah, that's just about it, Mr. Uti.
Okay. Clara, can I ask you a controversial question?
Okay, but home. All right.
No, you know, when you watch Sundowns play, Sundowns ladies play, there's a certain pace to the game, there's a certain way that they play. Is Desiree falling behind in terms of the type of play that these modern day teams play? Because when you look at Uramalepe, for example, you can tell that, man, there's something there going forward. You can tell that this system is made to hide her her deficiencies. But when she gets to Banyana Banyana, you know, we've often complained that Desiree doesn't change a lot. Is Desiree falling behind?
I think she is, but also I don't know if she is to blame or the system that she's working within is to blame. Because my thinking, and that's why I was so mad when the US women's national team appointed Emma Hayes. Because in my mind, I was like, Morocco appointed a questionable coach, but he is a World Cup winning coach, right? Like coaches are already, I mean, national teams are already building up to the next world tournaments, and we know our problems, we know our gaps, and yet you're not hearing anything coming from the association, coming from the team itself to say this is how we're going to close our defensive gaps. This is how we're going to, do you get what I'm saying? But I think what Desiree is struggling from is a lack of support, because I think she could only take us so far, and there will be a lack of creativity, there will be a lack of progress if the program is held by one person for so long. And I don't know how she falls behind though, because you'll see her at all the tournaments. Sasol tournament, she's there. Varsity Cup, she's there, you know. I don't know if that's her downfall and not enough time is spent watching teams that we should be aspiring to. It feels like she's more scouting and maintaining rather than visualizing the elevation of the team that is existing or that will come into place. Because like you look at how now the CAF award nominations have come out. That Shamase Twin is nominated amongst the young players of the year. And she has been underutilized, considering her age and how effective she is. You look at the things that Wendy Shongwe has been doing. Listen, Wendy Shongwe is amazing, but but that's the thing. Do we now use Banyana to train Wendy as a defender? Or do we say to the lady, the coach here tax, listen, we think Wendy has defensive abilities. Akomzame more during the league. Akomzame more during training. Because at Banyana, we should be going upward. We should be executing, not Wendy trying to figure out herself as a defender and coming up as a defender. Sure, she may be capable, but is that the project for Desiree Ellis? Or is it the project for club level? Do you get what I'm saying? But I think it's just a highly systematic that are challenging her. But I definitely think that it's time now for fresh ideas. Either they're coming in to support her or they're coming in. She can take a different role. That's the other thing. She does not need to entirely go. She can take a different role, but I think definitely new ideas are needed. Like Maobani, we were going on and on about how Banyana Bastali took that free kick. You know, you don't see new tricks for Banyana, and you are like,
look at PSL, next, you don't see any of that.
So it's one of those things where you're just like, someone commented the other day to say when these players come from under 20, under 21 from Coach Tlutlu, they come in fresh, and then Gobanyana, the senior team, something sort of happens where they flat out. So it's those type of things. I don't know, either the conference or an audit, but there's definitely a lack, there's definitely a gap that needs to be filled. Will they fill it? We don't know. But I think if they don't, it really sets up the players for an unfair system, because now when the team does not perform well, we are going to be complaining about Ramalepe, but we're not going to be talking about, is Ramalepe positioned correctly? Is she positioned in a way that we are bringing out the best out of her? But I think she needs support. I think she definitely needs support.
Okay, Mto. Let me not say Coach Desiree. Let me say Banyana. When you see Banyana play, as well as they play, as good as they play, when you see this Banyana style play, it looks more modern, if I can put it like that. Is Banyana falling behind because of maybe older people who are running the team?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Yeah, but okay, let me first start with the defense. Ngimdefende kancane Coach Des, because international football you only have a week with the players at most. Yeah, so you can't get it right like with Coach Jerry, who had a whole preseason with these players to
Yeah.
get them to understand the whole system. Yeah, so and apparently I was listening to my international commentators explaining why sometimes international football seems slower than club football, and it has to do with that. Yeah, so a lot of the time you find there's not enough time in between. Yeah, so even if he wants to implement his style as like a coach Jerry, she can't. I mean, sorry. So it's a bit difficult. And remember also, you've now got your international players who are playing abroad, you know, the captain, Morifile Jan, and all of those stars who are not necessarily playing the same style as the Sundowns wherever they come from. It's gonna be broken somehow. So that's why I can really defend it. But I think she should try, because it's really a nice brand of football to watch, and they win. When you watch Banyana style, man, they win with so much grace, man. They play so nice. I don't wanna lie. That's how I wish my club Kaizer Chiefs could win. We could win their games. Yeah, with so much effort. But I see Chiefs, but I don't think it's a case of Gucci. She's not modern enough. It's the time, probably. It's the time.
But shouldn't we then question that, as Uklara was saying now, Wendy doesn't play defense, right? So maybe because Desiree sees something or something, but then you find Wendy, Pelo Wendy, star player at Tugs, forward player. Now she's playing left back at Banyana. Rambalipi, star player, right wing back, right wing, up that side attacking. Very, very, very good player. But you find her in the center of the defense when Banyana's playing. Surely someone in the coaching staff should go, listen, this is what these players are good at. Rather than trying to reinvent the wheel, let's put these players in their proper positions.
Hey, maybe sometimes it's the pressure of being forced to select master players. So you end up just putting them wherever, because you don't think you need them in those positions that they are known for. So it could be that as well. Yeah, so for me, I feel, yes, if you're going to select a player, play them in their best position, because that's where everybody is praising them from. So and again, with the modern football, yes, I understand that coaches, they experiment a lot. I've seen Pep use John Stones go midfield and all of that. That happens. That happens. But yeah, if it's especially attacking players, I don't like this thing of go to defend these attacking players. We need to see the attacking players in their attacking positions. So for me, I'm not a big fan of that. I've seen even Namaji Germany did that with Havertz. Havertz was playing left back, and I was shocked. So yeah, I guess it's one of those modern things where you just want to try a player out of position, but you're not gonna get the best out of the player if you keep doing that. That's my view. Yeah,
okay.
So yeah.
Just to before I bring in Usupa, I'm not saying that she should go. I'm not taking away anything she's done, because winning the WAFCON, going as far as we did in the World Cup, is incredible. I don't want to make it sound like I'm taking that away from Ukosh Desiree. She's done an incredible job. It's just that the level we saw. Super is Banyana the play maybe falling behind? And can we look to teams like this Sundowns team as a way to maybe look forward into the future of what Banyana could be, or how they could play?
I think it's a number of variables. Yes, a fresh voice is needed in the dressing room, with nothing taken from Coach Desiree. I think the next step for Coach Desiree would be to be a technical director.
Yeah,
I think that's where she would be best deployed to assist the girls in moving forward. A fresh voice is needed in the dressing room. You know, it would be wonderful maybe some ladies, well, most ladies wouldn't be a fan of this idea, but it would be wonderful to see a crossover, you know. Maybe see Coach Desiree maybe come into the PSL, and maybe see a Coach Pizzo taking over the ladies, and see what Coach Pizzo can bring in from what is learned in the Arab states or something. You understand? But definitely, change is needed. And a lack of options is the reason why you see Coach Desiree going for security, tried and tested, um, of which it's worked for her. You can't really fault her.
Yeah.
Definitely, even if Banyana keep playing the way they are now, we can guarantee a spot in the next World Cup. So it's being a bit ungrateful to say she should move over, but maybe she should actually take on a managerial role in Bafana and have a coach underneath her or a couple of coaches underneath her, just to keep everything fresh, just to get people working with people like Abo and Deborah Ramalep, because I don't think they are trying to reinvent the wheel with playing those players out of position. I believe that they are trying to take their attacking attributes and use them from a defense going out. And should a tactic like that be given time, be tested, maybe it could work out, and you could find that the national team could play better than Sundowns. Some things need time. So let's not knock it until we've tried it. Sundowns has shown that you can do it. I believe also Pirates has shown that you can do it. I mean, Kibobo Hoto arrived as attacking midfielders. They are playing as left backs, Bopa Sekamako, and doing so successfully. Tapelo Morena, attacking midfielder. He's a very trustworthy right back. So, and at a national team level, you need a player to report for duty, to do what is required of them, not to do what they prefer to do.
Yeah.
And hence, players at a national team level should not need coaching. They should just need instruction. Or no, when I'm on the day, all you're gonna do for me is spread the ball, 1, 2, just your diagonal balls. That's all. That's all I need from you. I don't need you running up and down the pitch. A player should be able to play to instruction and not just to their attributes and their abilities at national level.
Okay. No, thank you, super. Kolani, same question to you. You know, you watch the way. Maybe it's the way that Ibanyana style, the way they play, and you look at Ibanyana, and they do very well. But it seems Ikare is like an old game. It's similar to when you watch Sundowns versus PSL teams in the league, where it's like it seems that Dorulani is playing this modern new thing. Can Abu Coach Desiree learn from these things and take them? And do you think they're falling behind maybe?
Yeah, Mr. Hotsi, they're bound to fall behind first because you can't compare Isafa. You can't compare the way Isafa erana ngayo izinto as to i-Sundowns indlela erana ngayo izinto first because i-Sundowns is more professional and compared to Isafa and indlela abenza ngayo izinto they come up with new ideas. There's a lot of stuff lapha kwi-Sundowns bese mangasubale nje like i-technical team kaRulani I doubt ukuthi ucoach webanyela abastyle would have a different support team behind him. Obviously now there's like so many people behind him as technical staff yakhe. So with Safa who's the assistant coach yebanyana? I don't even know her or him.
Oh, Coach Lulu, I think, is one of them. Yeah.
He's also a presenter, so be able to share half the job. So sidinga abantu abazoba full time yabo to get the best out of amantombazane ethu as ibanyana banyana. So I think if I won't also blame Coach Des because before kwenzeka istrike first, I doubt ukuthi why her selection would be as the same as our selection. Because abona like when it comes to goalkeeper yethu wamdrop Dlamini. So I think a selection yakhe was more influenced by Safa officials. Now he had his own selections, but the fact ukuthi amantombazana strike here, so they had to punish some of them, like Abu Dlamini. I was also so happy, like last night, to see Dlamini shaking his hand as started to done. It shows what at Sundowns we don't side. We don't side. We only had to like fight our battles in the field and show what we have. Like so we are born even the mantombazane, low mentality is instilled. But yeah.
Okay. Clara, I want to come back to you on a last question. Sundowns ladies doing so well in continental football. Is it a case of them being a professional team in a semi-professional league and that's why they look so good? Or is Hollywood Bets actually really good quality?
It's a bit of both. I think someone mentioned the interview that Andile did where she was confirming that though our league, our women's league in South Africa is not professional, I think they are given contracts that, I don't know, measure to professional players. And she was saying that gives them an edge because they only have to concentrate on their game. They're not really hard pressed like the other teams, right? But I think it's also a matter of resources and willing players and good scouting. Because when you look at UWC now, yes, they're going to come number 2 in Hollywood Bets. Yes, it's an improvement on their part. But you can see the gaps for UWC. I mean, when they lost against Richmond, it was very clear, you know what, if these people could get, I don't know if it's a funding thing, I don't know if it's a scouting thing, but there are certain gaps that if they close, they too may contest very effectively for the league because again, you look at the score sheet that Sundowns has had versus the other teams and them beating UWC with just 1 goal and how UWC held their own against them. So I think them as a team and a combination, they are good. Someone mentioned also the support of the Sundowns structure. I think that also helps matters because to Agent's point, women's sports is not coached the same as men's sports. There's quite a lot of physical and psychological differences that they have to be coached with in mind. So you can always assume that when you look at Sundowns, they have all that support. You know, when you look at the other teams, you can see that, I mean, Richmond and Tabiseng Magia is excellent. She's been getting call-ups to the national team, but she struggles with injuries. And you wonder what she would be if she was in a well-resourced team. But I think aside from that, aside from the other teams playing with the lack that they have, they really put up a good fight. And I think their coaches, it's also a testament of the coaches in that league. The ones that have been able to contain Sundowns, it's not a matter of them going strength for strength against Sundowns. It's mostly been a tactic thing. You know, like Coach Tina mastered some of Sundowns' tactics that gets them those many goals. So I think to answer your question, their quality, there's the investment that goes in there, the support that goes in there, those professional contracts, they really go a long way because you can see the difference between an athlete that's an athlete and an athlete that has a 9 to 5. Sometimes it's not available because of work. The university ones are sometimes not available because of exams and school demands. And because they are on bursaries, if their grades drop, they will not be able to continue to play. So I think Sundowns, it's the perfect setup. It's the perfect blueprint, actually, that women football in South Africa needed. Whether we are going to follow it or not, it remains to be seen. But I mean, it's there. We don't have an excuse.
Do you think that any of the other PSL teams will come around soon? Do you think that there's any urgency for that, especially the bigger ones?
I don't think so. And yeah, it's a sad reality, but I don't think so, because I hear whenever we have the conversation about other women's team, there is the conversation of funding, there's always the conversation of interest, but then you wonder how smaller teams with as we are assuming here, we don't know, but we are assuming less resources, less background and history are able to have women's teams and carry them. But I don't know, I don't think the bigger teams are pressed to have them. We will see. Maybe the Sundowns' second win of the CAF Champions League will motivate them. I don't know. That's the only change in the water. Otherwise, if we are considering history, it's there, right? One of them tried to make a deal for JVW. It didn't go through because apparently it was such a horrible deal. But I think that's the other thing that worries me about the push for the big teams to have women's teams in their organizations, because I don't want to put women's football in there just to tick a box. We know how dangerous that can be. I mean, Spain is a perfect example and of how wrong women football that is handled badly can go. But I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. To, is it similar to the PSL thing where it's like, is the PSL good because Sundowns is going out and winning Champions Leagues? Or is it just Sundowns is that good? Is it the same with the women's team where it's like Sundowns is the professional team in Hollywood Bets? Or is Hollywood Bets that good?
No, for me, I think it's the structure of how Sundowns is managed, from top down.
Yeah.
You know what? You have to commend the leadership here, Sundowns. They've put systems in place to make sure whether it's women's, men's, even
EDC.
probably it's gonna filter through to MDC and junior teams and all of that, because it's the structure that is correct on how they want to do things and how they want to. And my sister was pointing out that the investment that they've done, I mean, to go and fetch the best player as a Botswana, to go and fetch the best player as a Lesotho to be part of that team, that says a lot about their ambitions also as a club. So for me, that's impressive to see Sundowns doing this, such an investment for women's football, whereas the Pirates and the Chiefs, they completely turned a blind eye on women's football. I mean, Chiefs, it's so disappointing. Jessica is also involved, I think, Kev, by the women's side of things, but she's not pushing for a women's team, Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, at some point, the Chiefs was pushing for a rugby sevens team. What is that? We're not a rugby club. We're a football club. We should be pushing more for women's football than we are for rugby and all of that other stuff. So for me, it's a huge indictment. Which Pirates and the Chiefs, I mean, last time I checked, they were each getting about 500 million for 5 years from Vodacom. It's not a matter of that they don't afford to do the same thing that Sundowns has done. They can invest in women's football. It's just that they don't have that edge to do it like Sundowns has. I see Mamkiza is trying it, but now Mamkiza has got her own issues, because now FIFA was saying BENIN and all of that. So she just needs to sort out her own issues so that structures can be right, and then we'll see. I think it can happen. I think the other club in Czech, Galaxy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it's just Galaxy.
Yeah, it is also trying. It's good to see that the numbers are growing, but it's still not enough for me. I hope it's a huge push to Chiefs and the Pirates. Guys, especially if Chiefs and Pirates does it, trust me, everyone else will follow. because that's how it goes. If you catch Ivan Koza and Dr. Ivan Koza and Dr. Kaizer Mtaung, you've caught the whole lot. And also, the owner Arrows, it's also a bit disappointing that she doesn't have a female club playing Hollywood. I mean, she should be like Sean, trying to push for a women's game more than anything. Yeah, so for me, I'm a bit disappointed that I like what Motsipe is doing. Is forcing all of these PSL clubs to be associated, even if you don't own a football club, but you must be
Man, those
associated with
associations, man, those associations.
No, because the association comes with resources, and you might find, well, if a women's club could train a naturena with that high performance centrally Lapan and all of that could be a benefit to the game.
But I get to how far they go. I think I like the Sundowns model because Sundowns is responsible. But when you look at the other ones, I don't know if Pirates is responsible for UJ. I don't know if Ivan Koza, Khalid Katulo Sake, UJ.
No, but
you don't know
but
how
what
much
I'm saying-
support.
But what I'm saying is that choosing between Pirates and Chiefs, just ignoring women's football and forcing them to do something, that's much better. Yeah, I'm not saying that's the best outcome. It's not
like
the
they're
best
ticking
outcome,
boxes.
of course. Yes, it's not the best outcome for women's football because if they were involved, I'm sure the resources, the standard of the league would even be greater. But it's better than which Bangayenzi looted all. If you want to participate in CAF football, you better support women's football. That's a start. Yeah,
Okay.
so for me, I would take that as a start, but it's a challenge. That's why I'm saying I'm disappointed in how both Jessica and all of these other great women in football are not pushing for their clubs to also have these women clubs, especially go Hollywood. And I mean, if it's true, Lama rumors of which some of them were offering peanuts for. I'm not saying that they should buy at at the craziest prices, but you need to also back yourself now as a big club to say, what, I'm in this thing, I'm committed to this thing. So yeah, that's all. That's all they need to do in these big clubs.
Okay. No, we'll see. I actually I must do some research and see if we can't find out more about these deals. Let me go to Sfuba. Sfuba, tell me, is this a case of Sundowns being the professional team in the league, or is it that the league is actually very good as a whole? And will we see anyone else jumping into this, especially from the teams from the PSL?
The league is good as a whole. Let's do something. Let's do a quick experiment.
Yeah.
Let's have a quick measure about the word and the club Sundowns. Let's just wipe Sundowns from the completely. Besides the fact that every nation has guaranteed spots in continental competition, Orlando Pirates is a regular in the semi-final stage on continental competition, whether it's CCC, whether it's CAF. When they are there, it's either they get out first round or they go all the way to the final or the semis. Chiefs is a well-respected brand on the continent. Sundowns, even before Motsepe, a very well-respected brand. So the PSL, it's actually long overdue that the PSL get the recognition that it does. Now we are starting to get South American players, Arab players, but let's not forget that the playing field is not even. And Motsepe said he's not in it for profit. The other 15 clubs in the PSL are businesses. And that's why the club bosses have not made any noise about financial fair play, because Sundowns is throwing out a round of money. I'll give a quick example. Marumo Gallants
119 million, apparently.
Exactly.
And spent
then all of it went.
Yeah.
So imagine the Pirates. Mto was talking about how Pirates and Chiefs were getting 500 million. That's nothing. Pirates, how many semis and quarters have on the continent have they played in the last decade? Quite a few. You say 20 million for each occasion. You add the preseason in Spain, that's 120 million gone. You're not even talking about buying players. You're not even talking about employing UEFA licensed coaches. So these
But
other clubs in the
surely,
PS4.
but surely, if TS Galaxy and Royal AM can have teams, not to disrespect them, I don't want to count their monies or count their pockets, but if they can successfully, both TS Galaxy, both Royal AM have ladies teams as well. On top of that, a lot of the ladies teams aren't well funded. You know, I can't speak of a ladies team that is at the level of a TS Galaxy in our league. Surely then, Abo Kaizer Chiefs, Abo Pirates, Abo Super Sport, you know, those type of teams should have women's teams outright by now.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Specifically, I'll speak for Kaizer and Nokoza. Those men they've given their lives for our football. They've given everything for our football. They've sacrificed their families, they've sacrificed everything. I mean, from apartheid time football to starting the league with 600,000, to building it to a billion per annum industry that is feeding so many women, children, giving people opportunities in media. You understand? Transport, everything. So there is only so much that you can lay on Khoza's shoulders. I mean, he's an old man and he's still doing it. And to be fair, he sacrificed a lot to make sure that the World Cup came here. And after he made sure that happened, he had to recover Orlando Pirates. And he's been busy turning Orlando Pirates into a sustainable world-class team. So unfortunately, it means that they have to be a bit different with the fiscal. And they also have to protect the brand. They cannot just issue out a product if they are not sure if it's going to represent the brand properly. And you know, Pirates is actually, when it comes to branding, Pirates is the best team in the country at the moment. No one sells themselves like Pirates. So you don't do that and throw out a ladies team that's going to lose 7-8-0 in inception. You foster that. Yes, you hide behind the name UJ. Yes, let it be Pirates ladies losing as UJ. You understand? Still, the relationship has blossomed to such a state where, like Ajax Amsterdam did with Cape Town Spurs, to be like, this is how we do things. This is how you're going to train your people.
But you could argue that Pirates was not going to do that in any case. It's only just because the possibility of CAF and being forced to get that. Isn't that a worrying factor? And I know you've spoken about the sacrifice and all that, but now the new crop, Abo Jessica, Abo Kaizer, Junior Bos Banbani, they can't come in and create those things, you know, for the good of football as a whole as well, just as Ubab Khoza, Nobab Kaizer did. Surely they should be added.
Those two men need to be exempted. The rest of the league. Definitely Ustan Matthews, he's guilty. He's guilty. Ustan Matthews has no excuse. He is the platform for the channel. They are showing high school sports and all of that. So Super Sport is sport. Super Sport doesn't have an excuse. John Committees, he buys and sells clubs, so he really wouldn't be invested in creating a ladies team. But the other clubs, yeah, the next generation of Chiefs and Pirates, yes, Jessica, I'm in agreement. But maybe Jessica is just a marketer and she just loves marketing. Maybe we are putting too much pressure on the lady because she's not there to make technical decisions about the direction of the clubs. There to make sure that the glamour and the love and the peace remains throughout any.
But Bokeza Junior, Bobby.
Yeah, but Upobi, I don't think Upobi will be interested in other things other than the football. So maybe Kaizer Junior will be the future. And yes, they were brave enough to Kaizer Chiefs, you must commend them. They're very brave with their marketing and all of that. So yeah, if they were able to do a second team, then they should have done a ladies team by now. But in terms of remember always that these are clubs. As I say, there's a reason why there's no financial fair play in the PSL. Everyone is eating from Sundowns, and everyone else is trying to keep the lights on except for Sundowns. Sundowns can do anything that they want. They can bring Real Madrid again or Barcelona again if they want. It won't mean a thing. Unlike Chiefs and Pirates, which will become bankrupt.
Mara TS Galaxy is doing it. TS Galaxy, Raleigh M, right in the same league.
Yeah, but
in the
as I
same
said,
league.
You don't put out something for the sake of putting out. Like what Clara was saying, good time and not make sure. Rather, it really
But
doesn't.
by that token, you start somewhere. So Chiefs didn't start being Chiefs. You start somewhere. So if they're not going to do it now, what are the chances of them getting a 5-star team running first year, everything running? Shouldn't they be going, you know what, guys? Hollywood Bets is still semi-professional. Let's jump in there, start up, build, and then 3-4 years from now, you'll see something. Umutsepe, I guess, showed us the way that, oh, guys, build something. Maybe TS Galaxy might not be anything now, but by the time Chiefs and Pirates jumps in, for example, TS Galaxy will be further on the process and a better team because they started. I don't think they should wait to be perfect because that's not going to happen. If we're going to do that, it's never going to happen. If that makes sense.
Not to be perfect, but as I say, Chiefs and Pirates, they are brands in this league. They are not the custodians of the league. Why not? Why can't the best women's club be Super Sport Ladies? Why can it not be a revived Black Leopards Ladies? You understand?
Well,
it does not need to come from Soweto for it to be.
But Soweto are the co-chairpersons of the league. Soweto are the heads of everything. Soweto could theoretically come out and say that every PSL team has to have a women's team, just as they did with DDC.
No,
I think that's why we're looking at them, because they are the current chairpersons. They are the custodians of football.
This thing was a curveball that was thrown to Pirates. It was a curveball because Pirates was solely concerned on making sure that the gap between themselves and Sundowns does not exceed. And then the research on getting a coach, it required budgeting for it. So for them, they're about to go to Africa to be told, oh, by the way, no ladies team, no play. It's a bit, it was a curveball for them.
It's a force. Motsepe did the thing. He did what we expect to be done. If you're not going to do it yourself after years and years, then you need to be forced.
He's got bottomless pockets. We can never take that for granted.
But Stellenbosch has the bottomless pockets coach. And Supersport is a multinational company that was, maybe this year they're struggling, but was a R1 billion company, or over R1 billion. You've got Chiefs and Pirates, the biggest brands. Currently, they're being beaten out by TS Galaxy and Raleigh M. You can't tell me that Sean is the richest owner. You can't tell me that Tim Sugazi is the richest owner. I just feel like some of these things are just excuses. If they wanted to do it, they were going to do it. Look at DDC. They decided DDC was going to go a certain way, and money came out of everywhere. Every team has to have one, all the way down to what, under 15 or whatever. So now I just feel like it's an excuse. And Motsepe has shown them that, hey guys, if you guys are not going to be serious, I'll be serious then, and I'll show you guys what serious looks like. Whether I have bottomless pockets or anything like that, oksalayo, you know?
Okay, last one, big one. I think maybe there's different ways to skin a cat. So the reason why I keep highlighting the finance is that maybe Chiefs, maybe a Pirates, maybe a Supersport would want to do it differently for sustainability reasons. Not that they're not going to do it. And also they've got the brand is important. You cannot have an Orlando Pirates ladies losing 17-0 to a Sundowns ladies team.
But that's
You
how it's gonna
cannot.
start. That's how
No, it
all teams
cannot.
start. That's how all of them start. And the teams, first year was going, it was bad at times.
UJ ladies, yes, you can start 17-0 against that. But once they are ready to put that Pirates badge, then as Kale. No, let
Okay.
them build a product. Let them build a package. Let them replicate what they did with the PSL. The PSL was unwatchable with terrible pitches, terrible commentary, and all of that. And they packaged it together. They put everyone around the table, all stakeholders. They said, we're going to build a beautiful product which is marketable, and now it's worth $1 billion per annum. Let them go through the same process in the ladies. Let them not paint over an old house. Let them build it properly from the foundation up.
Okay, no, I hear you. Let me bring you Tolani. Tolani, how do you feel about these ladies' football? The initial question was, is it a case of Sundowns again being a professional team in a semi-professional league, and that's why they're number one, as opposed to maybe the league being a strong league? And obviously, then we can go into the questions of at what point do the other teams jump in?
Yeah, my man. Firstly, to Usu Perfect, I'm only hearing excuses for a big team. Like you can't tell me what each team the Chiefs and Pirates, but ukhuluma of finances. I can surely, I'll show you what budget Mazimba Chiefs can run with women's football team. And now also if I think you'll agree now. Ukuthi i-budget abayisebenzise ama-chief team bebengawaxhasa amantombazane mfethu. And another thing for me mfethu ngicabanga ukuthi these two big teams they don't care about women's football. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, no, I can hear you.
Yeah. Because if the difference is Sundowns cares about developing women's football, whereas Chiefs and Pirates they don't care. Uzokubona ngani lokho? It was only just before Kupeli League where they were talking about joint ventures because they knew should they qualify for CAF competition, they won't be able to participate. So after Chiefs didn't manage to qualify for CAF competition, those talks were nowhere to be seen. Yeah, so it shows they only care about immense football because if it wasn't for Umutepa forcing them, you wasn't going to hear about joint ventures, but what they call it. These guys, the Panama sponsors, they share almost the same sponsors, except for kid sponsors. It's basically one team, but through ama amagama and stuff. Because more check my sponsors, Pirates, and also my sponsors, Chiefs. They're more like the same fit. So you can't make excuses. Like Amatombazan, they don't earn much fit. Yeah, so you can't really complain about my finances fit. If Hollywood bets could like sponsor league Amatombazan, imagine, but Jessica Mtawong was brought in. We have to promote women's football in Africa. So why can't he take the initiative? With appeal the team Chiefs with ama skills I say now, with experience I say now for Ilokuzani marketing. I'm sure Jessica would even make a bigger women's team than Sundowns space just for experience from advertisement and marketing. So I think Jessica is one of the greatest women when it comes to football. But he knows the house and about how to go about marketing the game.
Okay.
So I'm very disappointed, Mina, with these so-called big teams. It shows us Abananda, but they don't really care, bro. They don't care.
Okay. No.
And I'm so worried. So you can't say Uti is Sundowns, but it's only because
but successful because it's because of their finance. Like that's not true, bro.
Okay, no. Tolani, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to the panels that joined. I think for me, we sit in a place where, again, Sundowns shows you what serious looks like and what serious can get you. Ubamzipe came into the league and he said he wants to be top of Africa. Spent the money, put in the time, showed the will, built a team to go. Now they're winning AFLs. Went into the women's game, and now they're going, you know what, guys, as Sundowns, Tina, we're not going to go and do a partnership. We're going to bring a team. We're going to build a team. We're going to have a team internally. We're going to give them contracts. We're going to give them good pay. And we're going to show that we're serious. And you know what happened? Now they're winning 2 out of 3 Champions Leagues. 2 out of 3 Champions Leagues. So when I look at everybody else, it's just another case of people, it's just another case of people not being willing to jump in fully, put skin in the game. I asked earlier about maybe the problems about Banyana and all those things is that they don't take it as seriously. The fact that at Sundowns, whether you are DDC, whether you're first team, whether you're the ladies team, you play a specific type of way, no excuses. We spend a specific type of money, no excuses. We get a specific type of coach, player, whatever, no excuses. That shows you what a serious team does. But at this point, guys, I'm sorry, you cannot tell me that there aren't teams in our league that can't afford to go and make a women's team. And it's not about finances. In fact, I'll even show you, even when you go into the men's game, you cannot tell me that there aren't teams in the league that aren't capable of signing the best players, bringing in the best people. Do you know what the common thing is? It's a will, it's a want. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care to challenge Sundowns or PSL. They don't care about Hollywood bets. It's probably the last thing that they even think about. Now, kudos again to Umutsepe coming in and saying, guys, on top of that, I am going, as CAF president, I'm going to force every team that plays in CAF competitions to have a women's team. Again, showing you a willingness from president at the top. Think about it, DDC, guys. Just think about it, DDC. What was the reserve league 10 years ago? But a directive came from the top to say what? You need to create these reserve leagues, these DDCs, these developments. No club said, there's not enough money, finances. No, they went and created them. Same thing could be done tomorrow with women. But it's not taken seriously. Guys, Hollywood Bets is a semi-professional league. Even if Abo Chiefs, Abo Pirates, Abo Cape Town City, Abo Banban came in at the barest of minimums. Guys, there's teams. Janine van Wyk has a team. Janine van Wyk started in 2013. Captain, whilst you are still playing, that's a team that plays. You telling me that funding-wise, Chiefs, Pirates, Supersport, all these guys couldn't get funding to the level of JVW. And no disrespect to JVW. You're telling me that they couldn't in order to get a team in there. Let's say the barest of the barest minimums, where you're not giving them contracts like Sundowns, where you're not doing all that stuff. You telling me that 60% of the teams in the PSL couldn't do it with their eyes closed. You telling me that TS Galaxy is in better financial standing than the Kaizer Chiefs, the Pirates, the Supersport. You're telling me that a Royal AM, there was a point where Royal AM had some of the best players. The TS Galaxy as well has one of the best squads. You are telling me that Bakulwa Yilabo, Utim Sugazi, agent extraordinaire, can run a TS Galaxy and have a ladies team. Chiefs can't. Pirates can't. Chiefs had a sevens rugby team. I see your agent keeps saying, They had a 7th rugby team with Bob Brayton Paulser at their height. You telling me that those guys, come on guys, let's be honest. Let's be honest. And until all of the other teams shape up, we're going to carry on watching this happen. Until proper funding comes into Hollywood Bets, until it's a situation where people don't have to work 9 to 5s. Guys, some of the people, Kalen Swart, who we speak about a lot, has a 9 to 5. Imagine how many caps for Banyana Banyana, how many games has she played? She has the 9 to 5. A lot of these players don't make money. They study. Both TUT, both UWC, both tags, they're studying. Both UJ, it's a scholarship that's given to them. So you are telling me that our teams are not able to match that. So it's fine. We're going to continue watching Sundowns. By the time people wake up, Sundowns will have won 6 Champions Leagues. They'll be the Al Ali of Champions Leagues while we are still sitting around twiddling our thumbs. And the saddest part, I think, the part that gets to me, it would be one thing if they kept quiet. But every time they come out and they speak about the women's game, what do they say? Oh no, we're making a promise. How many promises has she made about women's football? How many? Just think about that. How many times when they see these things, no, we are working on a plan, we are doing this. Mind you, within a few months of Petrus Motsepe and CAF putting down that rule of having a ladies team, all of a sudden there's partnerships. So, fine, don't start a team. Why aren't there more partnerships that were happening before? Was there a finance problem? Was there an issue with that? Or was it because they just didn't want to? Pirates all of a sudden has a UJ deal. TUT Matsatanza, Super Sport and TUT. Why didn't they have that before? Is it a finance issue? So these are the questions we need to ask, and we need to start pressuring. Especially, the sad part about the women's football is that they're doing so well. Look at Banyana Banyan, African champions, current African champions. Current. They did so well versus people who have salaries, who play these things. Some of the Banyana ladies, some of the Banyana players pay for their own fares to fly back to play for Banyana Banyan. And we can't go, you know what, guys? You've taken 10 steps. Let's make sure that you don't have to take the next 20. Here's something. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Let me read some of these comments here. So many young ladies don't like football. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. There won't be an afternoon show tomorrow. I'll be back in the evening. There's a launch for a tournament that's happening, a Discovery launch. So we're going to be covering that. So guys, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't followed, please follow. Follow this account on TikTok, follow the Facebook page, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. We also have a WhatsApp group that is very, very heated every day. There's something else that we speak about a lot. Other things we speak about, those are dealt with in depth in that WhatsApp group. All the guys that you hear here, we have a lot of conversations there. So join that by going over to YouTube. It's 20 Rand to join a membership. Then you get access to the WhatsApp group and we can have conversations offline as well. If you want to watch any of the previous shows, we've had incredible conversations. They are available on Facebook and on YouTube in full with the panels and everything. And those who are members get their own show where everybody else can watch, but only they can interact. Those are on Fridays. Thank you guys so much for joining me. There is no watch along. You know 3 o'clock is tough, guys. 3 o'clock, 5 o'clock is tough. So there's not going to be a BAFANA watch along, but we will review it in the evening when they play. But guys, I'll see you guys then tomorrow at 8 p.m.